Hello everybody, how are you doing? This is MD Tech here with another quick tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing how to password protect any given folder on a Windows 10 computer. Most, if not all, of what I'm doing in this tutorial applies to earlier versions of Windows. However, I feel that with a lot of new computer users using Windows 10, this would be the most direct way for them to find this helpful tutorial. So basically, why would you want to create a password protected folder? I believe it should be pretty obvious. If you have certain files or folders or pictures you really don't want other people seeing, this makes it a little bit more difficult for people to be able to get into it. While I'm not going to say any of this is foolproof and impossible to get into, the average person who's going on your computer will more than likely have no idea how to get into it. So for most people, that's good enough. So the first place to start is go into the folder you are trying to hide. It doesn't matter if it's on the desktop or in your documents folder or on a flash drive. I just have it for my example on the desktop. So I'm going to open it up. See, I got a really important information in here. So very simple. What we're going to do is start by right clicking inside of the folder. We're going to left click on new, and then we're going to left click on text document. Alright, so at this point you can name your file whatever you want. I would recommend doing something that's pretty simple or easy to remember. So I'm just going to do password file just for simplicity. And then I'm going to save that name. Now I'm going to double click on the password file and open it up. Now I have some text I've already saved onto the desktop here. I will have this in the description of the video. So I'm just going to copy and paste all of this code. Again, it'll be in the description of this video. I do not expect all of you to remember or write it all down. So you might be wondering at what point do you insert the password you want to use. And it's very simple. You just want to head down to the spot where it says your password, somewhat near the bottom of the page here. So you can just backspace this. So you want to make sure you're one space away from the equals sign, and then you can insert your password. I'm going to insert a very simple password, and that's going to be my password is password. And then make sure you have a space in between the end of your password and but make sure you delete the here part. It looks a little tricky, so just make sure you have a space in between the equal sign and your password, and then another space in between the end of your password and the go to part. So at this point, now that our password has been inserted, we want to go up to the top and left click on File. We want to left click on Save As. Underneath Save As Type, left click on this little drop down arrow or on any part of this bar. Then make sure you save it as the type of all files. That's very important. And then you want to save the file name. You want to save the file name to folder lock or whatever name you want to save it as, but you have to put a .bat at the end. You want to save it as a bat file. That's very critical. And then you want to left click on save. Now we can close out of our notepad file. Now we see that we have a Windows batch file in our secret folder here. Now we want to double click on our Windows batch file we just created. Now would be a perfect time to drag and drop all of the files you want to put in the locked folder into the locker folder we just created. Now I want to double click on folder lock or whatever the name of the folder was you saved. Now we're prompted with a prompt here saying, are you sure you want to lock the folder? Now you type uppercase Y and then you click on the enter key on your keyboard. The folder has been locked. So now if we close out of it, we see we still have our folder on our desktop or wherever you wanted to save it to, but in my case it's on the desktop. So I'm going to open it up again. And now we see the only thing that's in this folder is our batch file we created earlier. So now if you want to get access to our files that we put into the folder, we want to double click onto the batch file. At this point we have to enter the password to unlock the folder. Make sure you write your password down before you do this. You definitely do not want to lose it. So my password is actually my password in this instance. So I'm gonna click on enter. We see that our mysteriously secret folder has just been unlocked. We have all of our hidden files away in there. So once we're done editing our files and we want to block them up for the rest of the day, we can go back and double click on our batch file again. At this point, you can lock the folder. Just do what we did before. Capital Y will lock it, and the folder is locked. And you can just do this forever and ever, and your files should be somewhat protected. So I hope this tutorial helped you guys out, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.